to celebrate our grandmother, who we call Granny, Gloria Dent. So you may hear us call her Granny. That's how we know her and how we talk about her. Those of you that know her, which I think most of you do, you know that she was a very special woman and in our lives, Brian and my lives. And we want to share a few stories with you that were special to us. First, anyone that have met our grandmother knows that the Lord was very special to her, that God was very special to her. And I got thinking about, thinking of her life and what really, what in the Bible could really show what it meant for her and what was special to her. And I went to and I thought of the portion of the Bible where the Pharisees are kind of questioning and testing Jesus. And they test him and ask him, what is the greatest commandment, right? That's what they ask him. And Jesus' response was, "You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind. This is the great and first commandment. And the second is, you shall love your neighbor as yourself." And I think that really summarizes Granny's life. She loved God, she loved her neighbors, she loved her family, she loved her friends, she loved her church family. And that's a great way to summarize how she has lived her life. She took that to heart. That was very special to her. And being a Christian, her Christian faith was not just a label. She lived it. It was definitely something that determined every part of her life. Every way she lived her life was based on that. And she understood thoroughly what it meant to be a Christ follower and not just have that as a label. And she took that burden, and that was part of her life, that she spread God's word. And this was obvious how she interacted with strangers, how she interacted with family, with church family as well. And the best way I had to describe this to you is my testimony of my salvation. And Brian's is very similar as well, in that my salvation came through interactions with my grandmother. She, if you don't know, she cared for us as young kids. And she brought us to First Baptist downtown whenever she had events that she was attending there. And every car ride, every interaction that I had that I spent alone with her was an opportunity for her to share the gospel with me. Whether it's done through discussion where she would talk through different Bible stories with me, or through song. One song that came to mind, the first thing I thought of, which I'm not going to attempt to sing this, but you may not know that you got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart, right? That was the first song that I could remember immediately when I thought of talking with Granny about what it meant to have that faith. And at a young age, those regular discussions and singing and interactions and encouragement from her is what led to my personal salvation. And I can't thank her enough for that, although she would say it's not her that did it, it's Jesus that did it. It's because of that salvation that I know we both share, that the pain that she felt before, and she didn't feel pain as she passed, but the pain that she felt prior to that, she has no more. And she lives in heaven with our Father in heaven. And Brian, I think you have a similar experience. I'll let you share.
Yeah, and then, when I was in elementary school, I had this utter fear of speaking and reading out loud in class when I was in 4th and 5th grade. And she read the Bible with me, Bible stories every single morning, and made me read out loud over and over and over again until she finally, I finally broke me at that and raised my confidence level up. She put Devin and I on a high pedestal. We had nowhere to go, but hopefully to achieve what her expectations were. And I still have that joy, joy, joy in my heart, in my head. And I think she has tapes of that. I hope that never get found.
Yeah. There were duets.
There were duets, yes, and triets, yeah.
Granny also loved not only us, her grandkids, but her family, her friends. And I wanted to share a story that Pat shared with us yesterday about when she was going through some tough times with her husband Tom, who had cancer. They were down here at Mayo Clinic, and they were visiting. And after Granddad and Tom had went to sleep one night, Pat and Granny stayed up late, and Granny prayed with her and tried to help her understand what she was going through and what it meant. And after Pat had gone to sleep, Granny stayed up, must have been hours that night, writing out different verses that were going to be encouragement for her as she was going through these tough times, and Pat said that even as soon as recently, that she still pulls that out and helps her through those kind of tough times that she has. So this is what it looks like to live for Christ. Oops. Granny did that. It's not a part-time thing. It's not something you do Sunday mornings or 2 Sundays a year. It's something that occurs throughout her life, and it should occur throughout our life. And she had a great testimony. Her life is a testimony to us of how we should live our lives as well. So living a life for Christ means sacrificing and not pointing out that sacrifice to others. She never would do that. It was all to give glory to God. And I'm sure many of you have stories like Pat's as well that show her love for God.
You know, she loved her husband also, my granddad, Bobby, up front here. She, you know, we're told on TV that love at first sight doesn't exist anymore. When they had their first blind date, my granddad went home to Macon that weekend and told his mom, I met my wife, my future wife, and they were married shortly thereafter. So it's a testament to how much they loved each other, and really the true testament is when times really got hard, and her Alzheimer's really was when she had to go to the nursing home because of her Alzheimer's. He rode his bike up there every single day to be with her, and it was whether it be 100 degrees outside and detriment weather, he'd find a way to make it up there and spend some time with her. So I want to thank you guys for coming today and to share some stories of a beautiful woman who loved Christ and loved her family and loved you guys. So thank you so much.